My name is Sandra Bethune, and I work with the Northwest Regional Cancer Coalition as their tobacco program manager. I cover 15 different counties, so I go to a lot of schools to do a presentation on, for fifth graders as well as middle school and high school. Today, I'm going to be doing the presentation on e-cigarettes and vape pens 101. So how many of y'all have probably vaped or juuled or are still doing it? Raise your hands. I mean, I'm not here to get anyone in trouble. I just wanted to, see, just for my information. So most of us, probably does. So what is e-cigarettes? Can someone tell me? Yes. Yes, it's an electronic device. We have a battery. We have the heating coil, we have the sorbent material which absorbs the liquid that they put in. Then you've got the nicotine aerosol that will be vaped out. Of course, you've got the early products that we used. There are probably still some on the market as well. Then we've got the next. Go ahead. The next generation. You've got the e-hookahs, the ones that looks like a pipe. You've got the ones that looks like a tank, and I've also got some devices that I brought along with me. These are very small devices, so they are easy to hide, especially this one. This is a Juul. This is what mostly the school students are using in the schools now. And then I've got one that looks, probably smaller than a credit card, so they can put it in their pocket. Teachers don't even know, but with a Juul, they can vape it in the classrooms, bathroom, on the buses. All they do, they take the little pod. Go ahead and click that. The little pod right here. They'll put it in. They'll charge it when the teacher leaves the room, or maybe her back's are turned. They'll take it out. They'll take a puff off of it, put it back in. Don't even know because there's less smoke with a Juul. And the girls, the way the girls will do it, they'll put it in their shirts, then they'll take a puff off of it, blow the smoke in their shirts. So, really all you can get from it is maybe the smell, whatever liquid they are using, like the cherry flavored, chocolate, pina colada, cotton candy, anything like that. These are some other devices that y'all may recognize as well. Okay, the e-liquid and e-juice. If you didn't know this had anything to do with tobacco products and you saw this on the shelves in the store, what would you think it was? Candy? Red Bull. Right. So the companies are hiding, or disguising their products and using brands that y'all are familiar with. So that's really how they are getting a lot of people hooked on buying their products. Next. E-cigarettes, vape pens. Is it just water vapor? No, it's not. And I will have people to tell me, I only vape water. No, there's nicotine particles in it, no matter what. Some of the chemicals that are found in e-cigarettes and vape pen aerosol are some of the same chemicals that are found in regular cigarette smoke. But the ones that are highlighted in yellow, next, which I think you might be able to see. These are some of the most harmful or potentially harmful substance found in the aerosol, and this was from the data from FDA in 2012. So go back to the chemicals, that's fine. Formaldehyde. What is formaldehyde?
Isn't that what they put in dead bodies?
Yes, it's embalming fluid. That's what they use to preserve dead bodies with. So that's in there. Arsenic. What's arsenic? Poison. What do we use arsenic for, really? Rat poison? To kill rats? Yes. So it's got more metal in it than cigarettes as well. Go ahead. Okay, the stronger e-cigarettes and vapes. You've got the salt-based nicotine, which means the salt-based nicotine, the liquid that they use, it's vaporized at a lower temperature. But it's got 59 milligrams per milliliter of nicotine in a Juul pod. than compared to the free-base nicotine of a tank, which is 0 to 36 milligrams of nicotine per milliliter. These pods are not refillable. These are, but people are finding ways to refill the pods. What's in that pod? Next. What's in that pod? Of course, you've got nicotine, which is the main thing. And like I said, people will say, I don't use the nicotine, but you've got nicotine in it. And these are some of the other ingredients, plus more of the chemicals that was found in the list earlier. But 1 joule pod equals 1 pack of cigarettes in nicotine. So in other words, if this represents someone who just smokes a half a pack of cigarettes a day for a year, okay, if they're smoking a whole pack, that jar is full of nicotine. So, and there's over 20 million devices sold every month. The effects that the nicotine has. What's nicotine? You've got the nicotine molecule. It's a drug, it's a stimulant, it's highly addictive, it causes changes in the brain chemistry, and it's found in tobacco products. So if nicotine is unsafe, why do you think people still choose to use it? Anyone? Addiction, yes. So the nicotine in the brain, we've got the molecule, the nicotine molecule right here. I call this the pleasure receptacle in the brain. When that nicotine hits it, it's going to shoot off those receptacles because you're enjoying it. In other words, I'm going to use this as an example. If I had chocolate cake and pizza here in front of me, and I gave each of y'all a slice of cake and pizza, and y'all took a bite, then I took it back up from you, and I left it here on the table for y'all to see, and then I'm up here trying to teach you something. What are you thinking about? Are you listening to what I'm saying? No. You're thinking, I want some more pizza and chocolate cake, correct? Right. So, and here's the black and white photo of it. You've got the molecule shooting off, and then that's where then the cycle of the nicotine addiction starts. You've got the vaping, someone vaping. Then you've got the molecule that hits the brain. They took a puff, okay, then they're settled down for about an hour, maybe 30 minutes, ever how long it takes them to want some, to get another hit off of that joule. The receptacles will sort of shrink. Then your brain is thinking, I want more, I want more. Then that's how the cycle will start, because all you're thinking about is that nicotine, that next hit off of that joule. So, nicotine and its effect on the body. Yes, it does affect the heart, the lungs, and the stomach. And we do know that some of the chemicals that's in the joule or the vape pens, it does cause cancer. So we do know that. The effects that the flavoring has on it, you've got different flavors, like I was saying. And yes, they do have flavors for, they call it vapor trim. Why do you think they call it vapor trim? Especially the girls. What are girls concerned with mostly? Weight. Yes. It says, inhale the flavor, curb the cravings, lose weight. Yes, a lot of people will think that them smoking regular cigarettes will keep their weight down. And when they quit, they're afraid that they may gain a couple of pounds. Yes, you will gain maybe 5 pounds or so. But that's just like with anything. That's just like if I was eating, I love chocolate cake myself. So I'm thinking, okay, I need to cut down, so I'm going to cut that chocolate cake out. But really, that's all I'm craving. And, I may take something to help me lose weight. But it's really not, because the more you crave something, eventually you're going to give in to that craving. Next. And these are some more of the flavorings that they have, the cherry, the popcorn lung. Have y'all heard the term popcorn lung? Okay. What's popcorn lung?
It's just when your alveoli swell up from vaping.
Right. And the reason why they call it popcorn lung is there's an industry, the popcorn industry. Now, I'm not saying to go home and tell your mom and dad to throw away the butter-flavored microwave popcorn. That's not it. But the people that breathe that chemical in, they used in the butter flavoring, which is called dicitral, they breathed that in every day. They ended up getting sick, ended up with a lung disease. It's treatable, but it's not curable. So, yes, if you just breathe that chemical in, you could probably get popcorn lung, but just, eating regular popcorn, no, you can't get. I mean, you're not going to do that. Third-hand smoke, yes, you can get third-hand smoke from vaping. You've got Mr. Macho over here that is blowing his smoke. Go ahead. Oh, excuse me. You got Mr. Macho over here. He's blowing smoke in that room. Okay, he's gone. Small children, other adults, your animals may come into that room. They'll sit on the couch. Maybe the dog's on the carpet. The nicotine particles is in the furniture, is on the carpet. So they're breathing those chemicals, the nicotine chemicals, in as well. Even though there's no smoke in the room, they're still breathing that in. E-cigarettes explodes. Yes, they do explode on people. There's actually one that this man, they said that his device exploded, shattered into pieces. Part of the metal that the device was made out of lodged into his main artery of his neck, and he bled to death. Yes, there have been people to die from vaping. There was actually a 17-year-old up north that died from vaping. So, it does, explode. Why do you think they have the young people down here? Right. Young people, your age, 80% of adult smokers started before they was 18. Yes, and I have had 5th grade students to tell me they have already started juuling. Adolescents who vaped were 4 times more likely to report cigarette smoking. In other words, we got the non-user group over here. So they've decided, well, I want to be in the in crowd. I want to be popular. So they start vaping or using e-cigarettes. They'll cross that bridge. Click, please. They'll cross the bridge. Then they'll end up probably eventually becoming regular cigarette smokers. In other words, they're saying that more than likely, if you vape, you'll probably start smoking regular cigarettes later on. So knowing what we know about e-cigarettes and considering all the things that we don't know, why do people do it? To be cool, yes. Anything else?
People like the flavors of Juuls.
Right. But you can get the flavors from something else. You can get the flavors from ice cream. You can get the flavors from candy. Right. But what I tell people, I've got a 28 and a 25-year-old. I graduated in 1980. Yes, there was peer pressure back then too. And I'm sure that your teachers can tell you that when they were in school, there was also peer pressures with them as well. But you don't have to be a follower just because, the quarterback of the football team is vaping. You don't have to follow him. Or, the head cheerleader. You don't have to follow her. Instead, be a leader because you may help that quarterback or that head cheerleader to quit. Students, they think it's the cool thing to do, and I've had students to tell me, I just do it because I want to blow the smoke rings. But, there's other things that you can do. So, is there any questions on anything that I've talked about? I appreciate y'all letting me come and do the presentation for y'all. But if there's any questions or anything, I'll be more than glad to answer them. If not, thank you.